men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
That's okay.
This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker Human Trafficking podcast. It's December 28, 2023. Mr. Perry has sold me, and I know that. Everybody knows that. He's into human trafficking. They have a compound south of Houston, and we got that out of somebody, a leak, I guess. Got very angry at what they did to my school education. In what they did was intended to pressure me to cooperate with being trafficked. He sold me to some dude named Larry, who's a realtor in Houston, but they have a compound. Mr. Perry's been pressuring me to go to, I'm going to ruin your school, but I'll put you through nursing school so you can go be a nursemaid to all the other victims at this compound. The leak tells our guys, this is something you don't talk about, or they'll kill you. So, but I'm pissed off right now. You better have my back. And I'm pissed off right now what they did to her school. I think everybody's had enough of what Mr. Perry's doing to her. So this one topped it. This one pissed everybody off. I'm taking. I'm almost done with a degree in criminal justice. I have 5 courses left. I'm taking crisis intervention, and so crisis interventions is teaching students how to deal with a person who's in crisis. I'm being trafficked. My car's been wrecked, Mr. Perry. There's not a day that goes by that Mr. Perry doesn't call and whine and nag. Please take her car away. Please take her car away. Please take her car away. David Roberson does too. Both of them. Whine and nag and whine. Get her car, get her car, get her car. Then she'll go be trafficked. Then she'll cooperate with being trafficked. And then she'll go be raped and we can make all our money. So, you guys have been recorded. I do know. Most victims don't know before you do delivery. I do. And he's told everybody, I'm going to give her this nice house, and she'll have this, and she'll have bullshit. No one believes you. It's a compound. There are women there who are kidnapped. They got them pregnant. They had kids. Now they're raping the kids. The leak says the kid screams when he's getting raped, and his mom's crying in the next room. She can't do anything to help him. And the place smells like the sewer because those kids are shitting all over the floor from being sodomized. Those guys go in and fuck all the women, and then they'll fuck each other, and then they fuck the kids. There's disgusting things going on in that place you cannot imagine. It's about time somebody finally shut that place down. It's bad. You can't imagine. It'll make you throw up if you know all the shit that was going on in there. So that's where they're trying to send me, and they want me to go to. Oh, we'll send you to nursing school. Well, why would I want to do that? I don't want to be a nurse. Not to you, not to anybody. I'm in criminal justice college, for a reason, and it's really none of your business, by the way. But in order to facilitate my cooperation, they have tried to take everything I have. It is common practice for human traffickers to make women destitute, completely destitute. Make it where they can't find a job. Make it where they have absolutely no money. Make it where, they'll ruin everything you try to do so that you just give up and go, all right, I'll go. Well, they haven't been able to do that to me, and they're all a little perplexed. But believe me, not a day goes by they don't try. 24th of December, they tried to do a second false arrest. They did a first false arrest and they messed it up. They've been trying to do a second one ever since. They've been trying to frame me for a murder. Beverly, one who I've never met, by the way, that I know of, was really worried about my shoes one day. I had a delivery of all places to the DA's office. So I guess she's there. I mean, I don't know. I just took the delivery. Later that day, our guys get somebody talking about her, and he goes, Beverly was really upset that Cynthia didn't wear the right shoes, and because if she had worn different shoes, this thing would be over. We're all going, the fuck? It'd be over for who? You monster. Not me. Over means Charles gets a false arrest, forces a conversation in which he puts in front of me an affidavit that is recanting everything I've said, all my claims for 10 years. How do I know that? He's under investigation, Mr. Kunzweiler. I don't know how many different ways I can say this. Charles Perry's under police investigation, sir. Where's your head? I came to Oklahoma to be with my family and to get the fuck away from Charles Perry and all the problems he causes and all the loss and all the drama. All he does is sit on his fat, lazy ass all day, perverting around and making trouble. And everybody's had it. We're getting the help. He's not. Team Told On. We call them Team Told On. We're finding stuff out like I was trafficked before I was delivered because he's under police investigation. We found out Mike Nealey was drugged. Before that was taken in depositions and then put on the docket even later. You know, I think I said it in January, February, and again in March 2020. Depositions weren't taken till May. And that's what the first responder said. Why didn't the jury hear this? Why didn't the jury, Charles, why did the jury not hear that? That he was drugged and there wasn't a bump on his head. There wasn't an injury on him. Why did they not hear that? What did you do? Mr. Kunzweiler, what did they do? Maybe you ought to find out. Because it's gonna make you look bad. You're gonna look incompetent. I promise you. You have my word. You have my promise. You're going to look incompetent if you don't get the facts right now. Right now before my guys do something to, make arrests maybe. Make arrests. Somebody's going to make an arrest. So if you don't want to do your job, that's fine. There's people that found out Mike was drugged and that I was trafficked. And there is no nice, beautiful house. It is a compound where women are raped and children are raped day after day after day after day while they all get rich. You want me to name them? Charles, name one of my guys. Oh, yeah, you can't, can you? They won't call you back. Will they? Quote one of their meetings. Oh, yeah, you can't. But guess what? We quote you every fucking day. Please take her car away, then she'll go. Please take her car away, then she'll go. Please put her in jail and tell the bondsman not to help her family if they want to get her out. Tell her to call me. Oh my God. What's Judge Hoffmeister's name keep coming up right now? Traffic court's done. Why is Judge Hoffmeister's name coming up in police chatter for today? Please explain that for the court, Mr. Perry. Since you like going into court and saying you're being harassed when we catch you. You've not been caught this much in your life, but I'm going to name your people. Lucius, Calvin, who's bald and fat and hated very, very much because he's mean. Sanjay, the hacker. Blankenship. Somebody said he's jealous of me. I don't even know who the fuck the guy is. I really don't. Don't care either. Blankenship, Desiree, Ruben, James, Lawrence, Andrew, Beverly, Renee, Greg, Tim, Larry, Bruce, Oscar. Who are those people? I've never met them that I know of. Betancourt. Mr. Betancourt. Chill. You don't have a choice. Chill. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. I know your name. You don't know anybody helping me. Not one. You don't have one name. Geppetto, you're a witch. So, until you can name my guys and quote their meetings, you better remember who's getting it done. Who's the go-to guy here? Because there's children screaming from getting raped and mothers crying in the next room because they can't help. And I'm going to tell you, Mr. Perry, right now, if you did that to my child, I would slit your throat ear to ear and not think twice about it. You call the cops. What are you going to do? You rape little kids, and you think we're all supposed to be okay with that? You are off your nut, sir. Mr. Kunstwheeler, how do I know that? Do you know that? Have you looked into it? Have you investigated it? You better know your shit, because I do. I know my shit. Okay? Nobody's bothering these men. They have caused untold, horrible, horrible pain and suffering to people who did nothing to them at all. They want money. They've tried to, Mr. Perry has told everybody who will listen, his intent is to starve me until I lie. Arrest her so I can talk to her and tell her she has to lie. And then she's going to sit here and I will do the same thing to her I did to Michael Nealey. Or she's going to go to the fucking compound with me and go be raped so I can make my money. After she signs my lie, recanting everything she said for the past 10 years in court and out of court. We're saying it now because you're caught. We're saying it now before you do it because you were recorded talking about it, and now we gotcha. We need only one time, sir. We're meeting causation, whatever, you're the cause. Remember, I've applied the but-for standard to every pullover, to every arrest, to everything that happens to me that you caused, Charles. But for you being in Oklahoma, causing one major horrible loss after another, there wouldn't be one major horrible loss after another. There wouldn't be traffic court. That's done. So why is Hoffmeister's name coming up? Explain that, Charles. Why is his name coming up in police chatter when traffic court is done? That was dismissed, to the best of my knowledge. Explain it. Okay? You don't have a choice. You want to go into court and whine like a girl that you're a victim of something, then explain why we're hearing his name come up in your conversations. Huh? We found out Mike Nealey was drugged before anybody else said it, because there was an investigation into you that produced that fruit. The judge that signs off on investigatory orders knows Judge Parker's name and knows what happens in her court, and Judge Egan's too. He's not happy. They don't know his name, do they? They don't know what he's heard them say or what you said, do they? They don't know how many times you've had somebody change their testimony because it was inconvenient for you, or not testify because it was inconvenient for you. You tell them, sir. Did you want to do another traffic thing, and then I'll put you on the stand? We'll go to trial this time, right? Should we tell him? I emailed James Hall and said, Mr. Perry is threatening me with another pullover. Why in the fuck is he doing this? I said it in my brief. They all know it, that you threatened it first, and then you carried out the threat. And I've told them you're threatening me again with that specifically. Why don't you mind your own fucking business, sir? Because what you're trying to do is everything is about facilitating delivery, so you can get your money. Then I go get raped while Beverly feels like it's over, and she can go sleep nice and cozy in her own bed in her own house, and I'm off in a prison getting raped. Did you tell the bondsman? We heard you say on Christmas Eve night that if her family changes their mind and wants to get her out, they are not to get her out. She is going to sit there until she does what we say and goes and be trafficked. Who is it you think you're dealing with? We quote you, you're not quoting us, and you seem to forget that. I know you said that. Was it up to you that we got that, Mr. Perry? Was it up to you? Did anyone call you and ask you permission? It wasn't up to you. It wasn't up to you. It has never been up to you. And so when y'all sit there and have your little conversations of where will she, after we steal her car, or have her pulled over and have the officer plant something in her car and then tell her we have to impound it. It's because we planted evidence, there's evidence in it. What do you need to impound my car for, Charles? Tell the judge, whatever court you're in now, lying before, tell them, why do you want my car impounded? Because we've got you talking about having my car towed and sold since 2019. Then you wrecked it 5 times. Nobody else suspect a thing. You act like everybody just fell off the turnout truck, and they didn't. In fact, you got people mad at you for doing that. What does that say? The last sentence? It's not legit, but I will have her car towed and sold before she figures that out. August 23rd, 2019. Do you see this? These are subject lines to emails where we typed up what you just said, a police recording. Okay? All of this was not up to you, was it? Nope. Nobody asked what you think. No one cares. We're sick of hearing about what you think. We've got names of your people right here. Richard, Dickey, Sanjay, Geppetto, who's Monique? Where's she today? Okay, see? Look at that. Anybody ask your permission? No, they did not. Name one of my guys, quote one meeting. See, when we got this, Calvin, it wasn't up to you. So when you guys sit around and go, after we tow her car and tell her she has to leave Oklahoma, Muffin Man said, I know who the Muffin Man is. Everybody knows who the Muffin Man is. Should I just say it? Why don't you say it in your courtroom, Charles? What does that say? Having me false arrested or killed isn't going to vindicate him. It's going to prove I'm right. He's doing exactly what I say. Look at the date on that. January 4, 2016. Yep, you're not all there, are you? The guys that helped me got me that in jail. Fabian's name intersects with the word hope. You're just a butt in here, a little wannabe. Oh, I wish I mattered. Who causes fear and sadness? Look how those are arranged just for me. I got that in jail when you did the first false arrest. Then, while I'm in jail, you're planning the second. We'll send her home, harass the fuck out of her, like threaten to take her car every single day, or have her arrested again, have her pulled over and pulled over and pulled over and pulled over and harassed and harassed and harassed by anybody we can get to harass her and separate her from her family and take everything she cares about and ruin her college education. We'll just do all that. Cause the problem and then claim she's harassing us when she talks about it. Yeah, you said it and then you did it. There's my email. He was drugged. He didn't do it. Sure shit. We gave him Narcan because he was dying of opioid overdose. Not drunken brawl. This is the arrest report. You know what it says? 1 injury, a red swollen right hand. Dude had an IV in his right hand. That's why it was red and swollen. If he had beat Chief Miller to death, his hands would look like Chief Miller's face looked. We've been over this and over this and over this. And you guys act like you think you're getting away with something. And we're all scratching our heads going, well, I don't know what planet that would be on. We're talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. You're sitting there acting like a bunch of, I don't know. This was my first false arrest. You have to file a police report in the state of Oklahoma to get a protective order. You don't have a choice. It is the law. I tried in May 2015 that Judge Irick denied my protective order in part because I forgot the police report. And Charles knew that. So they tried to kill me. They're sending me, David, did you give me arsenic? They're spiking my drinks. He says, yes. Let your life fade away. I can't promise this will end without death and destruction. Now, why the fuck would you say something like that to somebody in a text if you're not trying to threaten them? This is my shrink. She's articulate and intelligent and sick and tired of Mr. Perry butting into her life and interfering in things that are none of his business. I moved 2 times to get away from him. I left Lubbock in 2013, and I left Texas in 2014, a couple of months later. I left Lubbock in November 2013, and I left Texas and came home to Oklahoma to be with my family and to never again have to hear what Mr. Perry thinks or how he feels or what he wants or deal with his drama and all the problems he causes. Day in and day out, he has no alibi to prove he's doing anything else. He sits on his fat ass and he watches women in the privacy of their home and he devastates their lives every chance he can come up with. And they have meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. How can we do it? Ruin Cindy, don't you? Every day, give the judges an account of your time. Tell everybody what you do with your time all fucking day and prove it. Don't just say it. Prove to the judges. Charles, you need to get out of my phone right now. This is not a conversation. He starts typing in my other phone. You don't get to threaten me. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We have your accomplices' names. It is not the other way around. You look like a buffoon when you start threatening me, sir. But duly noted for the record. Threaten me again. So this is the police report I filed. I should have had a blood draw to rule out or confirm arsenic, or maybe it was something else completely. But something they were giving me in my drinks at work was making me sick. I was getting death threats. Recant or I'll kill you. Recant your claims that Charles Perry's stalking you or I'll kill you. I'll put you in the lake like boats. David Roberson. Okay, then they do a false arrest, filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job as a senator. Well, shit. Since when is attempted murder part of your job as a senator? What are your duties, sir? What are your legislative duties? And why are you always in Oklahoma? I guess somebody said, if somebody was accusing me of stalking them, the last thing I would do is go where the accuser is and refuse to leave. It's not at the neighborhood grocery they're running into each other. They live in the same neighborhood. This is an entirely different state, thousands of miles away from where Mr. Perry lives and has a business and is a senator. He's in Oklahoma, and he's not a legislator in Oklahoma, doesn't live in Oklahoma, doesn't have any reason to be here, but stalking. So, if it's me, I'm staying the hell away from the accuser. I don't want any appearance at all that I'm stalking. What does he do? Goes to Oklahoma and bothers her and bothers her and bothers her and bothers her. He knows where she lives. He knows when she works. He knows where she works. He's getting her fired. He's having her car wrecked. Taking everything she had, getting her kicked out of her home over and over and over, not just once, but over and over and over and over. And he expects us to believe he's not a stalker. Well, I didn't just fall off the turnip truck, and I'm kind of sick of him treating everybody like we're all just stupid. These charges, by the way, were filed in Texas. I didn't live in Texas. Mr. Perry right now lives in Oklahoma. I live in Oklahoma. The injuries are in Oklahoma. There's no Texas court that has jurisdiction. Nobody's in Texas. Everybody, even Charles, is in Oklahoma. They can't get him to leave. So, now, there was no login of evidence. There wasn't one. This is when the detective called. I was arrested on the 29th. Filed the report on the 21st. Not even a week goes by. I'm thrown in jail for trying to get a protective order. For acting in compliance with the laws in the state where I live in Oklahoma. I'm charged in Texas. Keep in mind, I've already told everybody, or told somebody. If he has me false arrested or killed, it's going to prove me out. It's not going to vindicate him. I said that on the 4th of January. Okay, so he does it. He carried out the threat. And I don't get a call from Tulsa police until the 15th of February. I'm already in jail. She's asking for evidence. There's no login of evidence. There's no proper collection of evidence. There was no investigation. Because first, the thing Hansen should have done is said, first we have to give probable cause that there was a police report that was investigated and proven to be false, and that it was filed because of your job as a senator. What part of your job? Where's the evidence of that? And he didn't ask for any of that. So how much did you pay him, Charles? Just to sign off on that for you. See, you got judges. There's a judge that signs investigatory orders into your criminal, the investigation into your criminal activity, who knows exactly who Judge Parker is and exactly who Judge Egan is, and probably everything you guys have said in their courtrooms. So, can they name his name? No, they can't. It's a need to know, because you have a bad habit of threatening and bribing people, and our guys aren't putting up with it. They don't take your phone calls. You're not going to bother them. They're not going to get 1,000 phone calls from you a day. Please take her car away. Can you frame her on that murder? Please put her in jail so I can talk to her. He's got to fucking kidnap me to talk to me because he's not worth my time. This is a motion to dismiss. They dismissed it. This is the bond conditions. What's the first thing say? Charles Perry needs to leave her alone. And then I had to see a shrink. Well, everybody saw what the shrink said. She didn't say she's got a mental illness of blah, 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 and here's the medication we gave her. That's not at all what she said. She said this was a stalking escalation. Why is Charles in Oklahoma? He doesn't live here. Why is he here? Interfering in her life and threatening in death and false arrest. I did say it before, did I not? We always do. Look at this. We've got one we got to get back to Texas where we can do more to her. That was in March, right after this. We want her kicked out of her house. We can't do it right now on non-payment because of the COVID moratorium. So we'll do it on smoking. This was on the 9th of February, 2021. They tried on the 15th. This is the manager's phone call on the 15th saying exactly what he told her to say. Yeah, we always get it before. I'm sick of being asked to pull her over. That was Chief Miller. This letter is to the U.S. Attorney sent in 2015. He's using law enforcement to harass me. Because 2 of them came and complained to me about it, Charles. Not all cops want to be your bitch. You know, maybe they have some greater aspirations in their career than to be your bitch. And how dare you even ask them? I don't have any... We're at a loss for... This was my deposition. I'm on the list of people, see, for Mike Nealey. And boy, you've made sure to retaliate against me for that. These are all the wrecked cars right at the wheel. That's wreck number 1, wreck number 2, wreck number 3, wreck number 4. I'm sorry, there's another one. That one is actually wreck number 1. They threw a brick at me on the fucking freeway. What if that had been my face? It split my engine in 2. It hit the pavement, bounced up under my car instead of hitting me in the face. Thank God. Wasn't my day. Charles did that. Prove you didn't do it, Charles. Prove you didn't do it. Burden of proof is on you. Prove you did not do that. Okay. Then I got a new car. They got in my trunk and put this dust everywhere, which was also all over a room nearby where David Roberson had his employees staying 3 doors down from me in Manford. Mike Nealey took this report 6 days before his life blew up. And he was begged or coaxed or whatever you want to call it to Pensacola. Apparently, at first he said no, kind of like I'm right now. My answer to you is no and fuck you. Get away from me. Get the hell away from me. When I say no to somebody about something and they pressure me, all you do is piss me off. And things are very different when you do the crime to me than anybody else. Don't you think? It's not all there. We know that some of these guys are not all there. Mr. Perry's elevator does not only does it not go to the top, it doesn't work at all. Then they took my taillight out to have me pulled over. My guys call me. Guys, the same judge that signs investigatory orders that allows for whatever it is they do to get what you just said, whether it be a leak or an informant or an infiltrator or a wiretap order. Heard you guys talking about taking my taillight out. That called and they woke me up. Go check your taillight. Don't you just go to your car? They did it again this week. You remember they wanted me arrested on Christmas Eve. Then they wanted me arrested tonight. I'm sorry, the 27th, yesterday. And we heard you talking to him about it. Get her and put her in jail and make sure you tell the bondsman not to help her family if they try to get her out. And guess what? My headlight was out. Wow. Nobody else suspected a thing. It's like the 20th time they've done that. When you start doing the same thing over and over and over and over, pretty soon it's just not possible for you to be able to go, no, that wasn't me. Pretty much everybody knows it's you. But you go ahead and tell yourself some other story in your little bullshit land. We don't care. Okay? We don't care. This one was today. Trying to arrange somebody was talking, he tried to arrange a kidnapping, but make sure there was no missing persons report filed. Her family's going to think that it's a happy little, we're going to arrest her off the stage. Then we're going to sit her down in a room and tell her we're going to do the same thing to you that we did to Mike Nealey. So you're going to sign the affidavit lie, and then you're going to go pose for wedding pictures Because your family thinks we're a married couple. Because I've been lying to them all this time to get them to cooperate with helping me traffic you. They think this is about a romance. So I forged your name on a marriage license, and now you're gonna pose for the wedding photos to cover all that up. And I'm like, I wonder how he thought he was gonna get me to do that. How did he think he was gonna get me to do that? There's no way. There is no fucking way. He gets anywhere near me, I kid you not. His balls will be in his brain. Like that. Fast as we quote you guys, that fast. And, I mean, you guys complain, but sometimes we're not even done with the conversation. You're just typing up what we said. Yep. And it's incriminating, isn't it? It's incriminating shit. You're worried about people finding out? Maybe you ought to just leave me the fuck alone. When we get this stuff, it's not up to you, Charles. No one asked you. We don't care what you think. No one cares what you think. You know who everybody cares about right now? The victims. The people whose lives you blew up. The little souls you're crushing. The little babies. Those little tiny human babies that get raped. Them. Those little kids are all that matters. And the women, such as myself. And Mike Nealey, a police officer who was trying to help us. And injured in the line of duty. Chief Miller, who was killed in the line of duty. Because we all know you can't beat somebody up and not have a mark on you. The arrest report says a red swollen right hand, and that is the only thing it says. And you cannot beat somebody's head back and forth so hard. It was like they were in a car crash, and they die of internal decapitation like Chief Miller did. The ME said it was like he was in a car crash. Mike didn't look like he was in a car crash. He didn't look like anything. So, when we find out stuff like he was drugged and given Narcan, not treated for being in a drunken brawl, those people matter. He matters. We got that information because a judge signed off on something that allowed us to get that information, sir. Why is Hoffmeister's name coming up now? Explain to the judges that you're lying to right now why that is. So they were talking about all this today. The kidnapping. We'll tell her we'll do the same thing to Mike that we did to her. We'll do the same thing to her we did to Mike. And she's going to go along with this, or we'll go tell her, well, she got herself in a jam and I tried to help her and she just wouldn't let me. She's being ostentatious. We're like, oh my God. This is also some reports that were given to Manford Police about guys pulling up there and taking pictures of me. They made everybody very anxious and very uncomfortable. Pull her over, pull her over. Look at that. Flatten my tires. Taking out a tail light. This is the McNamara email dated August 29, 2015, and it says he's going to false arrest me and try to coerce me. That's what it says. He hadn't changed. He's still doing it. This was Judge Kirkendall. She's the only one that got it right. I'm seeing the harassment email where she's told everybody beforehand that you're going to harass her. And then when she complains about it, you're going to lie and say she's harassing you. Why are you always in Oklahoma if you're being harassed in Oklahoma? Mr. Perry, you're so full of shit. It is unbelievable. If somebody believes what you say at this point, they're just stupid. They deserve to be fooled. I don't even know what to say. Okay, so she says, what I'm seeing is it looks like you're doing exactly what she says, because I didn't fall off the turn-up truck, as it turns out. So it looks to me like you need to leave her alone so I can rule out provocation and entrapment, because it looks like causation here is you. And so give her nothing else to talk about. Why don't you go home and stop bothering everybody in Oklahoma? Okay? When we got that, was it up to you? No, it was not. It was up to us. We control the flow of information. It was not up to you that we got that. See, you get told on. We get help with information. You get told on. And you're so stupid, you don't even know that, do you? You're not able to put that together, are you? Nope. What does that say? Get her driver's license, get her driver's license, get her. We've heard him complain for weeks. Because she found out that we wanted her driver's license, I can't get it. I can't get to it. In order to traffic her, I need to have that. Yep, we heard you talking about it, Lucius. Is it Lucius? Look at that. You guys are complaining that they're getting information illegally, but you can't tell me how they're getting the information. So we can't say it's illegal. When you go to jail and you have your trial, then you can challenge everything, and then you'll find out how they got it. They never have to tell you how they got it to her. Never. There's no constitutional right for you to know how they got the information to her. What I will tell you is they will have to tell you when you go to jail and you're in a trial, if they want to use it at trial, then they have to tell you how they got it from you. That, at that point, you do have the constitutional right to know that. Is it fruit of the poisonous or whatever? Can it be suppressed? Well, but the thing is how they got it to her. She didn't have to tell you that. They don't have to tell you that. It's none of your business. But you can talk to police on the phone. Dum-dum. You watch me in the privacy of my house. You ought to know that. Okay. Prove what you say, bitch. You know, y'all run around going, she can't prove it. She can't prove it. And you're irritating people that are like, I think she can because she sued you 3 times. The burden of proof is on her. She doesn't have a lick of law school. You got 5 attorneys, and you wouldn't let her in court. You shut everything down. They wouldn't allow a trial 3 times. 3 times you had the chance to make her prove what she said was true, and you made sure she couldn't. And so, don't tell me she can't. I think she can. Or you wouldn't have done that. We didn't just fall off the turnip truck. Yeah. This says her privacy is not to be invaded. That's illegal to do that. Don't contact her or her family, directly or indirectly, in any form at all. Creepy Chuggy. And she's not to be broke. Get your hands out of her wallet. We told you in March 2020, it was in response. Mr. Perry has a bad habit of threatening me and bribing me. I got this nice house in Houston. Yeah, I'm not going to your dungeon, thanks. You're good. I don't even know why you would. I guess they told my cousin when I first moved here I was selling some medical supplies. That's pretty much what I've done most of my life. And I had some reps come in from out of town. Some reps that rep the product. We went around and scheduled appointments all one day, went back the next day for the appointments, and we got screamed at. Well, I've been in business for 20 years. Never happened before. I had a very good company. My company was doing well enough that my employees stole $90,000. And I've told the story. I knew she was stealing it. I confronted her about it. Tried to work with her. She was pregnant. I was trying to work with her. She also had a unique skill. It wasn't something that just you could go hire any physical therapist and they can do this. She had 135 hours on extra training on a unique skill that I needed in my clinic. So there, I confronted her. We're trying to work on it. Meantime, she had stolen $90,000 from me. So I made enough. I had to make $90,000 for her to steal it. And not only that, but when I first started my company, I was $1,500 a month in the hole. My husband and I were. I had zero capital. I started my business anyway, and I made it. Boom. So we were able to expand to open a clinic. I just sold medical equipment. I expanded it to open a clinic, hired my therapist. Then a few months later, she started stealing $90,000 from me. Okay, so I, at this point, decided to fire her. And do I want to start over again? At this point, I've been in medical for 20 years. I had it with fighting with insurance companies to get my money because I got to pay money to get my equipment. I got to go put the equipment into the patient's home. I got to spend some time training them on how to use it, and then helping to monitor results so that we could give that to the doctor and to the insurance company, and then I get paid. Sometimes I got paid. Sometimes insurance companies try to find a way not to pay, so it's a fight. Now I got to be a lawyer. Now I got to figure out how to write a letter that sounds, here you broke this law and that law. That's the one that I use, Then I spoke to Richard Scruggs on the phone about his HMO lawsuit against, I think it was like 13 insurance companies, and they got settlements. It was in Judge Federico Moreno's court in Florida. They got Cigna settled for like $500 million, Aetna for like $499 million. Scruggs was nice enough to give me his brief and explain some things to me, and I basically just went off that. Wrote insurance companies a letter specific to what they did on and got paid. But by now it's 6 months after I bought the equipment. I got to pay it in 60 days. I don't have 6 months. I got tired of that. After 20 years, I just I don't want to do it one more time. I'm done. So the medical equipment I sold in Oklahoma was more of a cash deal. The doctors paid for a 30-day net. You're billing the doctor, not insurance. So, but I made enough money after I shut my business down that it fed my family and I for a year, plus the 90 grand. I did fine. I did fine. I don't need Mr. Perry and his crime. I don't. They're seeing things happen they've never seen before. When he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. She finds out before. That never happened before. And then they go around and ask, how did she find out? How did she know? How did she find out she was trafficked? How did she find out about the compound? How did she find out microdrug? How did she find out we were going to false arrest her again? Right off the stage. Well, you ask those questions. Then you get up the next day and act like you're in a new world. And that you're going to go ahead and do it anyway. And we're at a loss. Everybody's at a loss. The fuck does that? Who the fuck does shit like that? What day is he gonna arrest you, Charles? What day? Your guy said we've never had one figure out that we had cameras in their house or that we were causing their problems. We never had one invoice us or sue us or solve a murder we committed to cover all that up. But I did, and you act like you don't know that. You're not getting it. So when you sit around and tell, we're gonna tow her car, and then we're gonna tell her she has to leave Oklahoma, and she can't go to Vegas, and she can't go to Albuquerque, and she can't go to Florida, and everybody's scratching their head, going, "What planet is that guy on?" Because I don't think it's up to him. He forgets who it is he's talking to. Because she's quoting you, you're not quoting her. She knows who you are, and you don't know who her people are. So, what planet do you fucking live on that you think it's up to you? Was that up to you that we know you said that? No. It was not. So Kirkendall's like, quit provoking. Quit antagonizing. And then she won't have anything to talk about. Because I'm seeing her talk about what you're doing to her. How is that harassment? It looks to me like what you're doing to her is harassment. So quit doing it. It's not hard. You know what? None of us do it. We're all busy. Why aren't you busy? Why aren't you working? So, anyway. There's the headlight. Then they talked about freezing my bank accounts. All in 1 week. Can you imagine trying to have a normal day with all that going on? Trying to get anything done, like a 3.6 GPA, while all that's going on? I've been doing it for 10 years. I've done it for 10 years, every fucking day. But you know what? I couldn't do it if I didn't have help. And most of us are Christians, so we don't just have each other, we have God. And you're fighting God. You think God thinks it's funny when you rape a kid and steal from a woman? You feel tough guy doing that, getting caught? I don't know. So we document these in these emails, these police recordings, when they're talking about taking out my taillight to have me pulled over. And first of all, you've illegally entered my vehicle. Second of all, you vandalized it again by taking the taillight or the headlight out. Third of all, you did all that to cause a pullover where you want an officer to plant something to impound it. Then that would facilitate trafficking delivery, right? Is that what you think? You haven't met me. You don't know me at all. Because all that would do is piss me off. That's all that would do. You piss me off, these guys helping me, they get pissed. And then we start getting shit like that. These are not people you want to piss off, but, suit yourselves. So, in response to the threats and the bribes in March 2020, after Perry sees me emailing the Florida State's attorney, he starts threatening me. And it's a threat and a bribe, and a threat and a bribe, and a threat and a bribe. And the guys were like, tell him here's what we said. Get the club full of paying customers. First of all, she's never going to have to lie for you, okay? Okay, you pathetic little bitch, get that out of your head. She's not going to lie for you, doesn't have to lie for you. You're not old to lie. You don't get to do, you are not old to a crime. Stupid. You're not. Here's what, you owe her rights to privacy and to make money and without your interference and to date whoever she wants without you butting in. Did you tell Fabian? I heard you 2 or 3 times. You two are arguing. I didn't choose you. I chose him, Charles. I picked him, Fabian. It'll never be you. And I guess somebody was talking about that tonight. He will never have her heart and mind is not available to him. It's this other guy. So why does he think, he didn't have a chance? He's going to kidnap her. That's not going willingly, is it? It's a kidnapping and it's a crime. You're a sicko. You know how we know about it now? Because people hate your guts. We're sick of this. Everybody's sick of this. And you're not getting that. And you need to get that. It's very frustrating to have to deal with somebody who's mentally ill and mentally slow. One time is all I have to say things. One time. For everybody but you. For everybody but you. I'm not a special ed teacher. I'm not trained on how to deal with people like you. It's not my thing. You know what I can do, though, very, very well in my sleep? Sting up anyone, anywhere, and get more information out of them than they will ever get out of me. Without even trying. I don't even have to try. It's like breathing. That's how do you think I've survived all this for this long? We've never had one with this much longevity. Well, but you do now, and you act like you don't. It's not about longevity. It's about catching bad guys so they can't hurt people anymore the way they've made hurt me. Can't do it anymore. That's what this is about. This is about you don't rape kids anymore. Okay? You don't rape them anymore. Some of these are your own kids, are they not? How many kids do you have outside of your marriage, Charles, with these women at this compound? 5, 6? You're married to Jacqueline. You have Jordan and Matthew are your kids in Lubbock. Do you have a whole nother family in Houston at this compound? Like 5, 6 kids? Do you rape your own kids? Do you? Answer the question, yes or no. And remember, there's another investigation ongoing. Okay? Don't lie. Don't lie, sir. So, this stuff is outrageous. It's deviancy. It's outside social norm. It's outside the law. The guys are like, don't invade our privacy anymore. Get the club full of paying customers because we watched you run them all off. Get them back in there. Paying customers. Don't just fill the room with David Roberson's migrant workers. Fill the room with paying customers. You ran off the paying customers. Give it back. Give her back her money that you stole from her. And my privacy, sir, my body, my home, my utilities, cost you've been billed $1,000 a day for using it for your entertainment, for your pretend love life, plus $2,000 a day because you did it without my consent, and you are to stop right now. What a vulgar, yuck thing to do. What a vulgar, yucky thing to do to somebody. You should feel safe in your own house. You should fucking feel safe in your own home. And, so, he said, get Michael Nealey home. Give back what you took, fix what you broke, and get the fuck out of her life, or I'm going to do it for you. After that is when we got everybody's name. After that is when we got pretty much most of those emails I just showed you on the yellow. After that is when we got this. After that is when we found out Mike. No, I think before that that was right after we found out Mike was drugged. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we always get more. I don't want to hear it. I don't give a fuck what you think, and I will never help you. I have never helped you in 10 years. What planet are you on that you think I would now? You have taken everything I care about. You've separated me from my family. I didn't introduce you to my family. There's no way I would have taken you around my family. That separation would not be there were it not for you causing it. You were told to fix everything you broke. So fix everything you broke, bitch. Or don't complain when we quote you and get your names. Because what they're doing is an investigation where they get information that's incriminating, where they can take it to court, put you in jail, and we're done. No more suffering. No more loss. No more problems. No more drama. No more stress. Because the person and the people that are causing it are gone. The dragons are slayed. Everybody's safe now. And yeah, when a local gives me shit, I don't understand that, first of all. I don't understand it. Second of all, I don't have any respect for that. I was raised in a home of 4 generations of police. There's honor in the badge, and there is one job required of a cop: relieve suffering caused by a crime. Relieve it. And if you can't do that, you're in the wrong job. And you don't deserve to be a police officer, and you don't deserve to wear a badge. And if the best you can do is be the bitch of a sex weirdo, I feel sorry for you. I feel very sorry for you. That's the best you can do. Sometimes our legacy proceeds along long after we're dead, and our families find out what we did when we thought nobody was looking, and they have to apologize for us and make excuses for us, and they're stuck with that forever, long after you're gone. So everybody has a choice. You can do like my granddad did, and we have a lot to brag about. We're very proud of him. And we're not. I mean, you have to live with it. Your kids have to live with it. Your grandkids have to live with it. There's honor in the motherfucking badge. So if I'm treated like, if I got a police officer who's not willing to lose everything they have to catch a bad guy, and they're not willing to go without food for days and days and days to catch a bad guy, and they're just coming around to harass me for you, I'm not going to feel respect for that person. I don't understand that. I don't even understand that kind of person. I don't get it. My mind doesn't go there, that it would allow me to do something like that to another person. So I can't even fathom what possibly you could be thinking that you would do that if you're a cop. And the best you can do is be the bitch of a sex weirdo. I can't relate. I can't relate at all. Thank goodness. Everybody's horrified by you, Charles, and you need to get that. Charles, everybody is horrified by you. We get the help, you get told on. Please act like you understand what those words mean. Because right now you're running around telling everybody how you're going to be governor. And you already have people going, yeah, I don't think it's going to work out for him. Because he's caught, and he acts like he has no idea that he's caught. And she's quoting him. He acts like she's got stuff nobody has, and he acts like he doesn't understand what it means that she has it. Did you think we were just going to do nothing with it? You guys tell yourself some wild bullshit. Wild, crazy bullshit. Do what you do. Okay? Do whatever you want to do. You have to live with it. You can live with your choices, right, Charles? This is the murder frame-up when we first started talking about it. Beverly's worried about my shoes, and I'm like, well, gosh, Beverly, my shoes were all taken on August 2nd, 2022. Charles took them. So I had to buy all new shoes. So all the shoes that I have now were bought way after this. So I don't even know when the murder is. But the guy's saying you're having to alter evidence. She didn't do it. Because the thing about solving a crime is you're smart enough to collect the evidence that is. And you'll collect it properly. And you put it on the evidence log. And you put it together like a puzzle. And if you're not smart enough to do that, you shouldn't be a cop. Because if you have to manufacture or alter evidence to make your case work, go be something else. You're doing it wrong and you suck. And you're going to get the wrong person in jail and the real bad guys out making more victims. Like on the movie Unbelievable, Mark O'Leary, it's the true story of Mark O'Leary, it's Netflix. You're going to be the one going, gosh, I always talked about incompetent cops or corrupt, and now I'm that. And I never thought I'd have to say that. And the guy said, I feel bad. Don't just feel bad. Just don't do it. do your fucking job. I was raised by 4 generations of police. 4. I mean, I knew what police are supposed to do at 6 years old. So, I've lost my ass trying to stop bad people without your help. Without your help. In spite of you. In spite of you. So yeah, if a local's shitty to me, I don't understand it. I don't respect it and I don't understand it. And a lot of times I'm going to do my sting up thing and otherwise not dignify you with a response. Because I don't understand you. I really fucking don't. Do you trust the police are going to show up and do their job for you? No, actually we don't. The girl in the video that I showed at the very beginning had the same complaint. I got a stalker. I go to the police. Police didn't do shit. And then I put it on TikTok. TikTok takes me down. I got another TikTok account. Then it goes viral. Now the cops want to help me. Wow. As long as there's a camera in your face, now you want to do your job right? Why don't you just do your job right? Your name's on your work product. Your reputation's on that. Don't you care about your reputation? I mean, I don't even know what to say to that kind of stuff. Okay, so he's basically saying, like, you already excluded her. If you're having to alter evidence, you're trying to use shoes. Then we hear them talking about my storage unit, which I didn't know I had one. I did have one that my ex-husband set up, but when I got kicked out of the motel, Sky Motel, after they kicked me out of my apartment, then they kicked me out of the hotel. I didn't owe them money. It was time to pay for the next week. And I said, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to go to the bank, get cash, and I'll be back. No, you're not. You're leaving right now. You get out of here. We're going to lock you out and all this stuff. She said that I had the door barricaded. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, no. In fact, the video, the camera we heard, showed her going right in after me. So what I had a string on it, like a shoestring to tie the door that already had a lock on it. I just tied it with a shoestring because it was a shady place. At night when I went to sleep, it wasn't tied when she came through. It was only used at night when I went to sleep. That was it. So she just made up some bullshit story. Anyway, they only let me take my purse, my computer, and I lost everything. So the keys to that storage unit and the paperwork on it, I hadn't even really looked at the paperwork. It was all in a drawer. So they got all that, and apparently the other day they went looking in my storage unit to see if they could find any old sneakers. Since now we're bringing it up, we are. Now we thought of that, not them. On December 28th, look at the date on that. Now they think of the shoe problem. So they went to my storage unit and all they could find was old dress shoes. So we heard y'all talking about that. Okay? Judy, we heard them talking about that. Did they tell you about that in the court? Whatever. Yeah. It's never up to you when we get it. Never. Never is it up to you. Mr. Perry, every time you contact me, it makes me want to throw up. I really don't give a fuck what you think. I've said this over and over and over. No one asked you what you think. No one cares how you feel. I sure shit don't. When you contact me, though, we always find out more about what you're trying to do because you were told not to do that. You have absolutely no control over yourself, do you? It's pathetic. You're pathetic. You're the most pathetic piece of shit I've ever met in my life. You're constantly trying to ask me about leaks. You have an attorney that you pay to ask her questions. I've never helped you in 10 years. You never get information. We do. Every time you contact me, we get information, not you. And you never shut up. Yeah, it is outrageous. This guy came and offered $5,000 if I would sleep with Charles Perry and be creeped out by him. And what was my answer? Fuck you. You're off your nut. There's no fucking way. The guy's gross. I mean, he's nasty gross. He's creepy. He creeps everybody out. He's creepy. We hear people complain about it all the time. How creepy Charles is. Ew. Ugh, I can't even be in the same room with him. He's creepy. Oh, he's just gross. He's a pervert. Ugh. Okay, so here's the whole page on the perjury after perjury after we just keep adding to that. This is a human trafficking thing, where we go over the whole kidnapping. Make sure we found a way to kidnap her, and there won't be a missing persons report filed. It's here, Charles. You're caught. He can't be governor because he acts like he doesn't know he's caught. We're all talking about it. He's caught. He acts like he has no idea. And that when you're caught, that's when you stop. Not that you should do this to begin with, because no normal person does this crap. And he can't be governor if he's not smart enough to figure all that out. He can't be anything. Can he tie his shoe by himself? No, I don't think he can. We think he can't. We think he sits in his rocking chair with his little doll watching TV all damn day. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen any. No, I haven't seen anything but that. Is it your mom? Is it? I'm not told who the leaks are, and you never get information when you contact me. We do. It is highly inappropriate for you to contact me. You have an attorney that you pay $500 an hour to bother with your questions, so bother him. Don't bother me. And fuck you that you would even ask me for help. Is it Al? Is it Kiki? Is it Jake? Is it? Oh my God! What I just say? I just said it. How embarrassing. How fucking embarrassing for you. It is outrageous. Okay, so we got. I mean, it is outrageous. The stuff that he types in my. I'm gonna have you arrested. I'm gonna take your car. I made you broke. Call me. Call me. I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes I want to throw my phone. Literally want to throw it. If it throw it at his head. I mean, it just drives me nuts to have to. I'm just trying to do my own thing in my phone, and he's fucking typing shit right over my typing. So he's asked us this Jake personal, and so one of my emails I didn't catch it, and so later I went back and looked over the email, and it said Jake, and I'm like, oh my, he's asking if Jake's a leak. What did I say? I've already answered that question over and over and over and over. When you ask me questions, you don't get information ever. We do. We always get it. We're getting help you're getting told on. Everybody hates you. They're sick of you. They're sick of y'all. All of you. Bettencore. So, this is all the whole. We're going to false arrest her on on December 27th and on Christmas Eve. And don't let the bail bondsman let her out. We got to make her do what we say. Call me. Call me. I'm going to take your car. I made you broke. Call me. Jesus. Whack job. So, we got all this. These are their code words. Yeah, you don't have our code words. You can't name one of my guys. They will not call you back. He said, if I call Charles back, I'm going to have to repeat myself, and I don't have time for that. I got to keep you safe. That's all that matters to me. Is my full attention is on keeping you safe from him. And that's it. I don't have time to pick up the phone and repeat myself. We said, don't invade her privacy, don't contact her, and she's not to be broke, period. Or we're going to kick your ass like it's not been kicked before. It's what we do. We're cops, and you're a criminal. And we really like kicking the ass of a fucking criminal. So I'm busy. I don't have time to repeat myself. So here's all this. We told you already, until you get the fuck out of my life, you're going to get the runaround when you call around asking for people. Asking people who is it? Is it you? Is it LAPD? Is it you? NYPD? Is it you? Chicago PD? Is it you? Roswell PD? Is it you? Yeah, what do we say? Whoever tells you is a need to know, first of all, and you're not in the need to know, are you? I'm not told who leaks are or how the information is obtained myself, because it's a need to know, and I don't need to know that. So which people that you call are telling you the truth and which ones are lying? I told you this. I promise you, on my granddad's grave, you will get the runaround until you do exactly what he told you. Okay? You have my word. Now you got all this. You called somebody yesterday, somebody last name Mansion, Didn't he say? Didn't the guy, Mr. Mansion, tell you? I'm going to tell you right now. You start asking a lot of questions of the wrong people, and they start making phone calls for you. And these guys continue to go into to continue to investigate you. And now my name's on the list. You're going to have a problem you will never get out of. Did he not tell you something to that effect? Or somebody that was associated with him? You're making some very dangerous phone calls when you call around trying to find these people. Because I promise you, if they don't want you to know who they are, you're not going to know. Until they're putting handcuffs on you, you're not going to know. You're not going to know. And the more you keep calling a bunch of people, and then all of a sudden they find out we're helping you by calling people. Now my name's on the list. I'll make sure personally you're fucked. Whether they do or not. Weren't you told that? Yeah, that's you can live with your choices. These are names. Name one of my guys, Charles. One of them. Oh yeah, you can't. Mr. Betancourt, name one of my guys. One. Just name one. Oh yeah, you can't either. Quote one meeting. Oh yeah, you can't do that either. Well, we can. So don't get it mixed up. Okay? Don't get it mixed up. When you start threatening me, and you start going at me, and you start trying to tell me how you feel, and you want to lie, and you want this, and everybody owes you something. Remember, we get this, and it's not up to you. And no one cares about what you. Everybody's sick of hearing what you think. You don't matter. The victims matter. Those little tiny baby humans that are getting raped, they matter. Their moms matter. If Holloway's there, she matters. Her family, and the Nealeys, and the Millers, and me and my family. You don't. And I told you that in 2016. I told you you've gotten away with this all your life, not this time. I already had the McNamara email and the Fabian puzzle. Should have been a little clue for you that things were different this time. It's different when you do it to me. We find out before, not after. I do know I was trafficked. I do know what you're trying to do to me. And it is illegal, and you are caught. Act like you understand what those words mean. Okay? We do have this. Okay? You're not hiding anything. Stop acting like you think you are. It's very irritating to have to deal with somebody like that. This is a disclaimer. Apply the but-for standard to fucking every pullover. Everything. This is the National Stalking Resource Center's training video on what stalkers do as far as hacking a phone. So I can make sure she's at XYZ intersection where I got one of my corrupt cops ready to pull her over. There you go. Calvin does that mostly. Isn't Calvin the one that calls in the pullovers? Okay, then we got connecting the dots. This is what police are supposed to do, not hand your report right to the offender so they can have you false arrested and obstruct justice and destroy your evidence of like maybe arsenic poisoning. Okay? That you got to bag it and tag it. You got to log in the evidence. You got to investigate, Richard. Right? You can't go into somebody's storage unit looking for shoes 3 years after everybody's going, well, the shoes aren't the right shoes, Beverly, because they were bought way the fuck after the thing because they stole my shoes. Oh shit, it's just old dress shoes. We need sneakers. We're looking for sneakers. Richard's at least smart enough to tell David, I can't put her at the crime scene. I don't think she's ever been there. You guys ran all her friends off. All she does is go to the work and the grocery, and that's it. Because I can't even go to the gym, because if you read that letter, the offender, the real person who really did the murder, has darker skin than me. So I'm scared to death to go tan. It's paid for. I got to pay for it. And when I can, it's usually late, and I have a late fee, but I have to pay for the tan, and I'm scared to go use it because I don't want to get framed for a murder. Because now, my skin is dark now. Now what do you do, Mr. Conswheeler? This is interference with commerce, isn't it? With intent to coerce, a lie, and trafficking. Right? Pressure, 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 pressure. I'm going to tell you the way that I am. is that people comment all the time, I wish I had the kind of courage she has. That bitch has balls. That bitch has more balls than I've seen on a lot of men to do what she's doing. And I can't disagree. There's one thing I can't stand, and that's cowards. So, Mr. Kunzweiler, apply the but-for standard. And you tell us, is this interference with commerce? If I can't go tan, because if I go fucking tan, my skin gets darker, and then I match the real offender, am I going to get charged with a murder I didn't commit? And then have to go fight that in court? Believe me, I can fight it in court. But also, here's the other thing. When I tell somebody no, and they continue to pressure me, especially by illegal means, you're gonna piss me off and a whole bunch of people with a lot of power. I'm quoting you, you're not quoting us. I can't do that by myself. I do not have Roswell alien superpowers. I don't have them. Your cuckoo bird, club can tell, you guys can tell each other whatever bullshit story you want to come up with. It's funny as hell. Go say it in court. Prove there's not cops. Or prove there's Roswell alien super magic dust on me or something. Whatever it is you want to assert, prove it. You run around going, she can't prove it, she can't prove it. Well, the same goes to you. If you're going to make a claim, prove it. Or shut up. Especially a wild, weird claim like, there's not real cops, she has Roswell alien dust superpowers. Like, who the hell, Jesus. Do you listen to the words that come out of your mouth?
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Other news now, the Florida State Attorney's Office has released interrogation video of the former Manford police officer suspected of killing Manford Police Chief Lucky Miller.
The interview with Mike Nealey was done just hours after deputies say Miller died in a Florida hotel room. New at 5 News on 6's Amy Slanchik has the video along with the newly released crime scene photos. Amy?
Craig and Lori, just a few minutes after Nealey has read his Miranda rights, he asks investigators, who is dead? During the interview, former Manford police officer Mike Nealey repeatedly asks for clarity about whether his boss, Chief Lucky Miller, is dead.
Lucky's dead. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir, he's dead.
The two were staying in this hotel room in Pensacola, Florida for police training.
I would like to know what happened, because I'm telling you, I don't have any memory of any of this, and I'm shocked that Lucky's dead. I mean, it's shocking.
Investigators then tell Nealey about noise complaints from other hotel guests and that a hotel security guard walked in to find Miller on the ground between the bed and the wall. They tell Nealey he was sitting on Miller's chest and Miller's face was beaten. Investigators say the guard told Nealey to get off and ended up pulling Nealey off Miller. They said Nealey then rolled off the bed and fell on his face, busting his nose and lip. Investigators say Miller was unresponsive.
I'm feeling my hands. My hands don't feel anything. What's he dead from? I don't understand.
I mean, it appears that he's been beaten to death.
Nealey told.
He didn't say, see the injuries on you? You beat him to death. He said, it appears he was beat to death. Now, the red swollen right hand, if you notice, Officer Nealey has an IV needle in it. But his hands would have looked like Chief Miller's face had he done the beating. He's found unconscious, in respiratory distress, given Narcan for dying of opioid overdose. Who put the opioids in his drink? That's who killed Chief Miller. The argument that the guest complained about was over what did you put in your drink? What did you put in Mike's drink? Mike passed out. He slept through the whole fight. Had I testified, I would have said all that. Because the jury didn't hear that he was drugged and treated with Narcan, did they? So you're retaliating against me, which makes you look guilty. And if you didn't do it, you wouldn't retaliate, would you? We didn't all just fall off the turnip truck. Stop insulting everybody's intelligence. You're making people very mad. You don't hear what they say behind your back. We do. So, now you've been told to leave me alone, so leave me alone. Just like that. I don't like you, Charles. You repulse me. To me, you're an alleged pedophile cop killer. Human trafficking, pervert, piece of shit. I'm glad to be the one that has caught your crime more than anybody you know in your life. How much money have you all spent getting caught? Getting us incriminating intel. Because that is the only thing that has happened since the day you went at me. Nothing else has happened. You have nothing else to show for the last 10 years of your life. And, the guy said, what kind of man humiliates himself like that to no avail and even to his own detriment for this long and for this amount of money? This is not a man. Does he not, is he just, well, he said a lot of stuff I'm not going to say, but he was not, he didn't think that was, you guys are the brightest bulbs, that's for sure. So, when the guys, in response to your threats and bribes, said, why don't you comply with the law? Okay? Get out of her privacy. You don't have the right to be there. Get out of her business. You don't need to be there. She's not to be broke. You don't run the customers off. In fact, if you did that, since you did that, make that right. Make that right. And until you give it back and get out, we're not going to call you. We'll see you in court. Just like that. I don't have to call you at all. But you're going to get the runaround. You're not going to get the answers that you're looking for. You've been trying for years. Have you gotten anything? Nope. It's a need to know for a reason. They're not going to spend all day on the phone listening to you whine and nag. Take your car away. Please take your car. Please make that murder work. Please make the murder frame up work. They don't have time for that. They just don't. So, everybody else is very busy. We have a life. Why don't you?
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.